Joey World Zero, what is up? All right, let's let some people get in here. We are now live on TikTok and YouTube. All right. Sweet. Oh my gosh, I am down to 48 subs on TikTok. And I had 400. Luckily, it is back on the Apple Store. And I think tomorrow I'll be able to start getting memberships on YouTube. I think I'm going to have my first round of monetization approved on YouTube tomorrow. Thank God. Your boy's struggling over here and working hard. What up, Charles? Charlie, if that's what you're called. Fade, what's going on? Finally, it snowed a little in Pittsburgh. I have missed it. Salim, what's going on? Alex, I appreciate that. That was quick. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, guys, I just started streaming, so I'm going to let some people get in here first. Man. That's weird. My TikTok just disconnected and reconnected. Can you guys hear me? Oh, now it's lagging. That's weird. My hair is getting so long it's sticking out of the front of my hat. Fill up Molina. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, crap. I was supposed to call my brother. Crap. I have to text him. 1 second. 1 second, guys. I literally just don't have time for anything. God. One second, guys. Sorry, guys. We're getting started in a second. Okay. I literally got up 6:30, and I've been at work. Got home, immediately recorded, edited, posted a video. Said hi to my son for about 5 minutes. Shoveled a bunch of food into my mouth, and now I'm on stream, and I will be until I go to bed. Every day. All right. Heather, what's going on? Yeah, okay, we're gonna get into all this. You talked to Riley? Okay. Yeah, I needed to talk to him about he's gonna start posting his own content, and I needed to give him some tips and tricks for how to grow on TikTok quick. I've learned the hard and long and grueling way. There are ways to help you get. Maybe I'll post a video about. Maybe I should just make a second page to help people with content creation and growing quickly, because I did pretty good. It took me 4 months from starting my TikTok to get to 100K followers. But also that has to do with just posting every day and streaming for 20 to 30 hours a week, which most people don't want to do because it's tiring. All right, let's get into the weather, guys. So we've got a bunch of fun stuff going on here. It is coming down out west. There's the severe thunderstorm warnings have lifted in Los Angeles, but there's still flash flood warnings all over the place. If you're out in LA, flash flooding and mudslides is your main concern right now. Snow all up and down from the Sierra Nevadas up through the Cascades, Rockies. Probably snow. Some more snow about to move in. I can't talk. Some more snow about to move into Flagstaff as well. Flagstaff's already probably gotten some. A little bit of snow moving. Up through PA right now, and up through the Northeast and Northern Michigan. Here's what's going on. Here's what we got moving forward. This is gonna be. I showed it in my video today, but I'll show you it again. You guys know what I like to do. I'm going to tell you what's going on, and then I'll start answering questions. Michael P. Werner, I appreciate the sub. Yeah, guys, for my people on the TikTok side, I had gotten up to almost 400 subs, and then when TikTok got banned and came back, you couldn't sub anymore. So I went from like 400 to 49. So I like lost them all. So I appreciate that, Michael. Time to try to build him back up. I'm gonna start doing my sub only. I'm gonna start doing my sub only streams again. But I just lost so many that it's like when you have no one to stream for and your sub only streams, it feels pointless. But I'm gonna start doing those again since people can actually sub. We were finally able to resub. Yeah, I appreciate that, Michael. Seriously. L. Will, Kimber, Priscilla, what's going on? So let's get into this. Here is the latest with our storm that is going to be moving through. I need to get this hair out of my face. 1 second, guys. Let's put it back into the hat. There we go. Here is what's going on. Casper, thank you guys. Casper, Kimber, I appreciate you guys. Subwave, activate it. Need 3 more. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate it though. It's been I felt the hit. I felt the hit here. Donna, I appreciate you. Let's look at our snowfall. Wow. Kimber with the galaxy. Donna, I appreciate you. Kimber, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much. Kuchera, let's go into the Ohio Valley. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So this is our 18Z of the European model. This is kind of the latest on what we're expecting with this weekend system. Holy crap. Suzette, L. Will, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. And Baseball Mom. And I think we hit the subwave. Or do we need one more? Thank you guys. Seriously. So this is going to be your Saturday system, and then into Sunday up in the Northeast. Austin, I appreciate you. Thank you, Austin. Saturday into Sunday system. This is the latest in the Ohio Valley. So Wisconsin, what are we looking like right now? Wide 3 to 4 inches throughout the state. Central Wisconsin, looks like we could push 5 to 8 inches in some areas. Northeastern Illinois, expected to get some snow. Hopefully we overperform this time in Chicago because last time we underperformed. Holy crap. Suzette, you do not have to do that. Thank you. Suzette just gifted 10 subs, I think. Holy crap. Suzette, you're awesome. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get some more snow back into Chicago, guys, and the burbs around it. 2 to 4 looks most likely. I hope you guys overperform. You way underperformed last time. Central to northern Indiana, including Indianapolis, 2 to 4 through that region looks possible. Northern Ohio, you could get a little bit into Columbus, 1 to 2. We'll have to see. I think it's gonna be a little bit of mixing on the south end here, but up near the top, yeah, we could push 5 to 7 inches. Michigan's gonna be 2 to 4. Why does this keep doing that? That's so weird. Michigan's going to be 2 to 4 statewide, and then obviously up into your north and east, we could see totals a little bit heavier. That's going to be some lake effect. Shane, I appreciate you. Thank you. Holy crap. Thank you, guys. And then let's move out to the east. Northern PA could see anywhere between 3 to 6 as well. Let's move out to the east. I'm just going to go over all this, and then we're going to get right into it. So, Pretty Lady Kimber, appreciate you guys. Inland New England. Yeah, that's a foot or more. It's definitely possible. This is forecasting range. This is not out in crazy la la land range. So this is definitely forecasting range. Priscilla, I appreciate it. And wow, you guys are popping off in chat. Shane, thank you. Coastal New England, 4 to 6, definitely possible. That does include Boston. Boston on the high end could end up seeing more than 6 to 8 inches, but I think it's probably going to end up being more 4 to 5, but we'll have to see how this plays out. Sheena, I appreciate the sub. Casper. Sheena, thank you. Northern PA, you can see what's going on here. Could this get down to New York City and Long Island potentially? A dusting to an inch, although I think that's mostly going to be mixing. Let's move out here and let's look at kind of a more macro level. Tons of snow out here in the west. We can move into really quickly here. Let me go up into the northwest. Still looking like that snowfall is going to move into Portland potentially over the next 24 hours. The Euro still sees some snow into it. We're seeing crazy totals, multiple feet, 4, 5, 6 feet into the Sierra Nevada and Cascades. And we're still seeing that over a foot down into Flagstaff. And as we move over into the Rockies, yeah, we're seeing crazy totals in the Rockies too. These ski resorts getting a foot or two of snow, or more than 2 feet of snow. Utah, Colorado, northern New Mexico as well, down there towards Albuquerque. Taylor and Freetop. Oh my gosh, guys, thank you for the subs. Yeah, it did. Thank you guys. Thank you, Free. Thank you guys. Holy crap. I can't. My thing's not even keeping up with this. I can't even. Wait, 1 second. Kimber, did you just gift? So it's Suzette and then Suzette and then Kimber. Kimberly, I appreciate that. Oh my god, guys, sorry, I'm getting into the weather. I seriously, I appreciate the community. Yeah, it's a bad feeling losing 300 subs, but you guys, I appreciate that. You did not have to do that. I never ask anyone to gift or sub. I'm gonna start up my sub only chats again, just because I know it's when I'm in these normal lives, I try to answer as many weather questions as I can, as many forecasting questions as I can, but I can't because there's too many people in it. So, Shane, I appreciate that. So obviously when I do my sub only lives, I'll start doing those every day again. I can go into a lot more forecasting detail for you guys. So I appreciate that, guys. We could see after this again, snow move into at the end of this run here as we get into the beginning of next week. Snow move into kind of the lowland areas out here, getting into the plains of eastern Colorado, up into Kansas, South Dakota, Nebraska as well. So we're gonna be watching this. Here's what's going on. This is what's interesting. Southern snow is potentially on the horizon here again. I'm not gonna hype it up too much because we've had a couple chances that have fallen through, although we've had some good southern snow this year. Casper and Pretty Lady, I appreciate you. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. So sorry, guys. I'll get to answering questions in a second. So here we go. Let's actually look at our 18Z. This is important. We know this storm's coming. Saturday, we'll get into it. Severe weather down here in the southeast. This could be associated with derecho. Derecho is just this entire squall line. We could have areas where we have strong downdrafts. 60 to 100 plus mile per hour winds, not associated with a tornado moving through these areas. Be weather alert, be weather ready if you're down here. Just have a way to get watches and warnings. You'll be fine. Have a plan, you know? So, again, I do want to actually break this down really quickly, just a tiny bit more. I want to get through this stuff, and then I'll answer your questions, guys. Let's just go in really quickly here into day 2. Actually, it's day 3. If you're in this yellow or orange area, really if you're in the dark green area too, it's possible to get tornadoes. Yellow and orange area, we could see EF2 to EF5 tornadoes. Hopefully not EF5, but above EF2 tornadoes. I was talking to Mesomat today, and it does look like this is falling apart a little bit. I thought this might go moderate. I'm going to probably ask him. I'm going to pull him on in stream a little bit later and have him explain this because he's great at explaining this. He's great with severe weather. And I mean, I can explain it, but he's such a nerd when it comes to tornadoes. And it looks like, you know, QLCS tornadoes, so quasi-linear convective system tornadoes. Those are tornadoes associated with the squall line are going to be more likely than your popcorn tornadoes that can really be much stronger, have a lot more inflow and a lot more instability associated with them. So that's good news for Saturday, but it's still going to be severe regardless. So we need to watch that. This is where it gets interesting with the southern snow. All of our models now, Euro, American, Canadian, Icon, all of them have snow in the south. All of them show this. Look at the latest Euro. That would be snow in Charlotte. This would potentially be some snow in northern Mississippi through Tennessee, potentially down into Texas, Oklahoma. Is this going to happen? A little bit out of forecasting range, but I just want to show you the model comparisons here. Here's the GFS, same type of thing, but even more snow. This would be big snow for Charlotte there. And potentially down to Alabama there, and then up the coast. Again, the end of the Euro does see the potential for a nor'easter forming. Let me show you this. Here it is from that southern storm, and then it comes up the coast, begins to deepen, so we'll watch that. But look at this, guys. We go into the Icon. Look at this dive. All right, this is between the 19th and 20th. Look at the icon with the snow down here. Big snow down here. And then a nor'easter up the coast. Again, still questions on this, but I just want to show you where the signal is right now. This is the latest signal. The icon. So let's go back to our 12Z. Look what our icon's doing. Again, huge snow down in the city. The icon would be insane, right? The icon wants to bring snow potentially down as far south as Houston. I think this is a little unrealistic. Not impossible. This would bring snow back down into southern Louisiana. I think this is pretty unrealistic. I'll show it to you because and then it has what would be the nor'easter of the century. 979 millibar low. This would be 3 feet of snow in Jersey. A little bit of an unrealistic scenario here, but just to show you, all 4 models have signals of this happening. So we'll see. We have to watch how this develops. It's definitely going to be interesting in that time pattern. Last thing I want to say before I start taking questions. I do think you'll have more snow in Maryland. Last thing I want to say before I start taking questions is this right here from the Climate Prediction Center is not your average below average. This right here is potential record breaking. I know it looks like this is where the record breaking would be, but just because of how wind chills and this is looking at surface temps and not the whole troposphere, and it's hard to explain. Sometimes you're like, oh, this is where record temps are going to be. This is also associated with different geography. It looks like this area will probably be closer to seeing the record temps, although this area could. This has the potential to be, and a lot of the people in the Climate Prediction Center think we will see all-time cold records, all-time history cold in some of these areas between February 19th and February 23rd. So something, and which is again why we're seeing severe weather around that time, or the potential for severe weather around that time. Moving all the way out through the end of February through the 27th, cold remains out here. It's like we're back in a January pattern. Big ridge starts building out in the west. This is probably going to be associated with dry conditions and heat. So, well, obviously heat. Can we see sub-zero temps in the Ohio Valley? Yes. I'll show you that real quick. Okay, now I'm done, so I'll start answering questions. Let me get back here. Yes, we could. Let me think about the best way I can show you this. Let's go into our Euro ensemble here, and let's go into the United States. We'll go into surface temperature. Pretty Lady Ninja, I appreciate the sub. TFX, what's going on? Thank you, guys. Thank you to everyone who subbed. Well, I'll also do, I'll be on here probably until 11:15. If any of you stick around, I'll do a 15-20 minute sub-only stream at the end here, just in case I missed any of your questions, which I know I'm gonna. But I'm starting to take questions now. YouTube, I'm coming over to YouTube. Here is okay. So these are what our temperature anomalies are going to look like moving forward. I mean, this is just ridiculous, right, guys? You can see here. This represents our temperature anomalies a little bit better, where I think the records are going to be broken in here. But some could be broken in the Ohio Valley. Let's actually look at not the anomalies, but the temperatures. So your sub-zero is this. This right here, this white and green, this is your sub-zero. Actual temperature, not wind chill. Here's the Euro moving forward. And you'll start to see this wanting to creep down. Let's go to the 12Z. This is the ensemble. We need to go to the deterministic model. Let's go to the 12Z of the deterministic. Here we go. Now watch as we push forward in time. So this isn't showing it creeping down as much on the Euro. I mean, it's showing it getting pretty cold down here. This is not wind chill. So these are all negative temperatures right here without wind chill. Now these are probably in the negatives with wind chill. Most of this is in the negatives with wind chill. So I can show you that on the Euro here. I think the GFS may have it even colder. Let's see. There's our GFS. So here's our wind chill as this moves in from the latest Euro. I mean, yeah, so here we go. So you can see negative temperatures moving into Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. I mean, Chicago -15, Chicago -24 with wind chills. Look at these. I mean, look at the center of the country here. You've got potentially wind chills 4 degrees in Dallas. This whole swath here is 20 degrees. This whole area is 20 degrees below zero. This whole area is 20 degrees below zero with wind chills. This whole area. I wonder how this looks like on the 12Z moving a little bit farther out. I mean, this entire region right here, this entire region of the U.S. is in negative wind chills. That's monstrous for the end of February. Middle to the end of February, that's monstrous cold. And look as we push out. Look at this, guys. This is serious cold. Now we have now this is our negative wind chills, all the way down here, almost pushing into the southeast. Very cold. 28 degrees, 45 Tampa. And then we'll see what happens at the end of this run. But that's let's see what the latest GFS thinks on that as well. I want to see what the 18Z of the GFS thinks on that. Wow, look at that. Insanely cold temperatures. So the GFS puts this cold air even down into San Antonio, wind chills in the 20s in late February. So we'll watch this, but we're gonna have some records broken from that cold air. It's a Tumblr thing. I appreciate the sub. Thank you. Mrs. Lala, I appreciate you. How much snow are we thinking for Kansas on Tuesday? Yeah, when we're talking Tuesday, we're still talking almost, 6 days out. We can take a look at what we got going on here. Let's go back into United States. And what are we in? Let's go to our Euro. Winter, Kuchera, 24 hour. So Kansas next Tuesday. Man, the Euro, I almost don't even want to show you this because this is, I feel like there's no way you end up with this much. It's not impossible, but this is a lot. Kansas, this is a lot. Hannah Thomas, I appreciate the sub. Thank you, Hannah. This is a lot of snow in Kansas. You can see it. Do I have to say it? It's like 6 inches to a foot almost across the whole state. Not saying it. It's not impossible with the look we have. Not impossible. Do you think the ratio is possible with our severe threat? It definitely is, Sam. That's probably more possible, I think, than you're really, really strong EF3, EF2 tornadoes, because the instability looks a little weird. We've got a very strong upper level jet moving through the southeast, but our mid to lower level jets look a little bit weaker. The timing's off. They're calling for 8 inches in Alberta, Lee, Minnesota. Do you think that will happen? I don't know where that is in Minnesota. I don't see any snow in the forecast for Minnesota, any short-term snow. When are you seeing that snow? Oh, did you say New Mexico? Maybe you said New Mexico and I just didn't read it right. Hold up, one second, guys. No, Minnesota. I don't see any snow in Minnesota. I mean, some snow. I see some snow in Minnesota, but not a ton. Too many systems getting blocked from hitting my area. It's been another frustrating winter. Other than last month, Newark, Ohio hasn't had one significant snowstorm and no 7-inch snowstorm. Yeah, a lot of issues have. Philly hasn't had a good one. New York City hasn't had a good one. Pittsburgh, I don't think has had a big one. Minnesota hasn't had a big one, or Minneapolis hasn't had a big one. Lots of areas of Wisconsin. Wisconsin just got a good one in the south, actually. But yeah. Some areas are super overperforming. And New England is having a big winter right now. And South Mid-Atlantic, the DMV, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware is having a pretty good winter. Trenton, Philly area. Here, let's go over to the Mid-Atlantic real quick. So this is what we're watching here. This is obviously a snowstorm that's pretty far out. I don't want to look. I don't want to take look at this too much because we need it. The models don't agree on what happens with this system next week. They want to bring it down into the south and then curl it up as a nor'easter. There's one of two things that's going to happen. This is going to end up flattening out into a zonal flow, and it's going to shoot off the coast, or it's going to ride up the coast. I haven't decided on what my favorite outcome is yet. I'll be honest. Well, I would say I'm leaning towards that this thing is going to move up the coast as a nor'easter, but I don't know if it's going to be, sorry, you guys can't see that. I don't know if it's going to be close enough to the shore. It might stay far enough off the shore, but there's some good potential there. North Carolina, everyone's confused. Yeah, your weather apps might say you're getting snow next week in Charlotte and areas of North Carolina. And it's possible, but it's out of forecasting range. So I can promise you'll see your weather apps adjusting and changing over the next few days before we really know what's going on. The icon and the Canadian for temps. Yeah, I'm sure they're going crazy. The icon's probably going the most crazy with temps. I can almost guarantee you, but we'll look at it here. We'll look at our wind chill on the Canadian. Yeah, Canadian wind chills going insane. Bonkers. I'm sure our icon is too. Let's see. I think our icon's probably going the craziest. Yeah, I mean, you can see up north there, 60 degrees below zero with wind chill in Montana. Let's see what the 12Z has. The Canadian's probably doing crazy things. Yeah, the Canadian wants it to get down to almost into the negatives with wind chill in San Antonio. Can you imagine? The Canadian wants it to be 20 degrees below zero in Dallas with wind chill. Probably temperature it wants it to be below zero without wind chill. Let's see. Yeah, it wants it to get down to like 5 degrees. Yeah, it's doing crazy things. We're not going to entertain that too much yet, but some records are still expected to be broken. Hannah, what is going on? I appreciate you. Thunder, what's going on? Nancy, thank you. Let's see here. Do you know what time the severe weather is going to impact Georgia on Sunday? Yeah, we can look at the timing of this. We can look at the latest timing of this. Let's go into our NAM 3K. Actually, is our NAM 3K? Yeah, our NAM 3K should see it. So this is pushed out all the way until, so this would be about midnight on Sunday. So this is going to be a Sunday morning event likely. We can look at what our latest Euro thinks timing wise for Georgia. You could have some severe weather out ahead of this though, Saturday morning, but the actual squall line looks like it's going to be moving into Georgia very early in the morning on Sunday. Probably before a lot of people are even waking up. 3, 4 a.m. maybe. This is Pivotal Weather. I use Pivotal Weather. I use Weather Bell. I use Windy sometimes when I got to look at a bigger map. Temperatures. Some other weird stuff. When I like to explain stuff, how the planet works. Please no snow for the Deep South, Connor. Thanks, Dan. I don't think the Deep South. Maybe the South, though. The amount of people telling me that Jersey is getting close to 2 feet of snow next Thursday is crazy. Yeah, they don't know. They're lying through their teeth. It could happen. There's a scenario where that happens, but it's like a 1 in 100 chance right now. So, all these models treat this snow system differently. The Icon wants to absolutely bury Jersey, but the Icon is not the best model to look at this time frame. You know what I mean? West Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia is going to have a pretty interesting day. We could see some serious flash flooding through West Virginia. That's going to be some crazy rainfall rates. Some back-end snow in the high elevations of West Virginia is definitely going to happen on Sunday. And then from there, listen, the way the Euro moves here, this would be more snow for West Virginia here. Next week. Southeast Virginia snow for next week. My weather app claims 9 to 10 inches. Yeah, your weather app smoking crack. Don't listen to it. People who've been watching me enough know how many times I've proved the weather app to be crazy. Again, not impossible, but there's, I mean, like, listen, there's models that show 0 inches of snow. There's very good models that show 0 inches of snow in Virginia next week. I think you're going to end up getting some snow in Virginia next week, but these weather apps think they can predict precipitation a week out, and they just can't. I wish they didn't allow them to even entertain it. How much snow are we looking for Northern Virginia next week? Yeah, again, I think you're going to get snow. I think you're going to get snow, but totals are way up in the air. You know, if we were to go off of our best model, what it thinks right now, we can look. You know, and our best model right now, it is saying like 7 to 10 inches, but it's 180 hours out. Okay, this last snowstorm that just moved through Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware, this same time frame out, it said Philly was going to get over. It said Philly was going to get 14 inches. You know how much Philly ended up with, guys? 3 inches. It was 11. Our best snow model, our Euro, was 11 inches off in this exact same time frame. So why would the weather app even entertain telling you how much snow it thinks you're going to have? It's just silly. In this time frame, what we're doing is not caring about snow totals. You should never care about rain totals, ice totals, snow totals outside of 96 hours. What you can start to pay attention to is the troughing pattern and where do we think the snow's going to go? Do we think the snow is more likely to move off the coast or up the coast? Right now, I'm favoring up the coast. So that's good for you guys up there. But totals-wise, that is anyone's guess right now. Okay, bro, I appreciate you. Can't trust the Weather Channel anymore. Well, listen, everyone and their grandma got Chicago wrong with this last system. Chicago ended up getting 2 to 3 inches. I talked about it on yesterday's stream. They got 8 to 9 to the north of them, and then there was like 4 to 5 to the south of them. They sat in a dry pocket. Rev Darren, I appreciate you. Snow in Pittsburgh. You know, there's no major snowstorm heading towards Pittsburgh right now. No serious system that I'm looking at and being like, oh, you guys are about to get slammed. We're staying very cold. You know, this wants to maybe give you an inch or two. This, on the Euro, again, is this storm that wants to move off the coast. If the Euro was correct, that would be a big snow for you, too far out. But what you have to look at, if you're out here anywhere on the east asking about snow, look at these temperatures. We're going to stay below average. We're going to have a lot of chances for snowfall. This is a little concerning. Lots of dry air moving in. I think what the Climate Prediction Center is seeing here, though, is... Let's look at our teleconnections. I haven't looked at our updated teleconnections. I'm guessing our AO is going very positive. Yeah, so they're expecting our AO, our polar jet, to strengthen up for a little bit. But what did I tell you guys? We're going to get freezing cold here for a couple weeks. And I've been telling you, I think at the end of February, right at the end of February, beginning of March, we're going to warm up a little bit. And everyone's going to be like, okay, our winter's done. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think the warm-up's going to happen for a little end of February into the beginning of March. And then you can already tell what this wants to do. It wants to dive back down. I think we're going to go back into... I just have a feeling we're going to have a big snowstorm in March this year. In the maybe first, second, third week. Maybe even the third week. I have a feeling there's been such a breakdown of our stratospheric vortex. We're still in like an Enzo neutral to a weak La Nina, and weird stuff happens in those years. Especially late in the winter season, February into March. So I think this is representing a ridge setting up over the U.S. At the end of February. But this is what we're dealing with right now. So, thing is, the scary high early estimates don't happen, then people don't take anything seriously. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're like, what the heck? The weather model said I was going to get a foot. No one can forecast weather. Well, if you believe a model a week out, that's not weather forecasting. That's weather dreaming. Shane, I appreciate you. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Shane. I don't know. I don't know, Titus. We can take a look at that. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on with our Enzo cycles. Can I get an updated? Can I get the PDF? I may have to do this later. Enzo forecast. This isn't going to show me the different Enzos. I'll dig into this later. I'll actually talk about this. I think I could talk about this in my video tomorrow. Dig into a little bit more of the climatology. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to do a video tomorrow just on climatology. Where's our Enzo cycle at? What's the state of our stratospheric polar vortex? And screw it. Maybe I'll even do an early March outlook tomorrow. Why not? That should be an interesting video. What's next with our winter? You guys know what I think. I think it's going to be extended. The Climate Prediction Center has had one of their worst outlooks. I have a lot of respect for them, but their winter outlook this year was horrible. Is there a chance for snow in Tennessee this weekend? Going for vacation this weekend? I don't think so. Maybe some back end flurries from this, but this weekend you're gonna have some seriously bad weather moving through. Thunderstorms. Cat 5 about to hit. Yeah, in Australia. Yeah. A geology stream. Listen. Yeah, I'm not as into rocks as I am into clouds. Tropical tidbits. What is going on with what's going on with that storm over in Australia? Let's just go to the only model that I trust with intensification, which is our half-Z. Our H-Wharf is really good, but holy crap, chat. I told you. The halves gets it. The halves model gets it. The halves model had some of the models had this thing floating back, starting to strengthen back, or pressure starting to rise back up into the 950s or only into the 940s, and the halves said, nah, this pressure is dropping. And it is. 938, but the halves saying it's about to plummet again. This thing is plummeting. So here is, let's go back into our halves model. Let's go back into our halves model. 916. That's the updated from the halves at landfall. This, someone from Australia know who, do people live over here? This is the northwestern coast of Australia. This is not the most populated area in Australia. You're from here? Oh, Port Hedland. Wait, you live there? No way. There's like 10 homes. I'm looking at the map. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it here. Let me show you guys real quick. Let me show you guys. Yes, this is what they call a super typhoon. Literally, I'm not making that up. This is a super typhoon that's about to make landfall right here. What's going on, Yali? Little town. Wow, this water is so blue. What the heck? This hurricane's gonna mess up. There's gonna be some surge with this. Not all this water. It's gonna get a little bit darker. This is where the hurricane's supposed to make landfall right here. Sorry, typhoon, super typhoon. Wow. Let me pull up really quickly our GFS on here. Actually, no. Let me pull up our... Can we pull up our halves? Let's pull up our H-Wharf. Look at this thing, guys. Look at this thing. Yeah, it's it's beautiful, but in a very scary way. Um, and oh my god, I, I hope they evacuated Port Hedland. Whoever's in my chat, did they evacuate? There should be no one in Port Hedland. There's no reason to be there. Yeah, here it's right here. I said it earlier. Northwestern Australia. It's up here. You know, I'm familiar with the most of the population being over here, down here. Isn't that like Sydney and stuff? Yeah. But yeah, yeah, down here. But I don't know Australia very well. But I'm hoping the person say they evacuated? This is a Cat 5, but it's like it's got winds. Let's see what our latest is. I don't know why it's not showing. This is expected to deepen down to a 916 millibar before landfall. What that means is we could see winds of upwards of 190 mile per hour sustained winds. A Cat 5, you just need 155. So this would put it in close to Cat 6 category, but we don't have a Cat 6. Pam, what's going on? Evacuation warnings. It's too, yeah. I would agree. Well, if I was there right now, I would still evacuate because you have a little bit of time. But I agree. I agree. You're pretty much out of time. You've got like an hour or two, an hour if. Yeah. So this is in Australia, guys, and this is a super typhoon, Zelia, and it is about to make landfall. Port Hedland. I guess someone in my chat is from here, lives here, and they think it's going to make landfall at around 916 millibars central pressure, which would be literally, if there was a Cat 6, it would be close to being a Cat 6, or it would be. But you just rarely see storms this strong, so they don't have that category. This is going to be very, very damaging. Anyways, I'm glad that's the only city there, and I'm glad they had an evacuation warning, and I hope everyone listened to it because this type of system is going to be, this type of hurricane is going to be hard to survive. For people, well, let me show you let me actually put this in motion here. For people near the water, the storm surge associated with this, you can see this is spinning clockwise, guys. I just want to actually show you something here. This is in the southern hemisphere, so it's spinning clockwise, unlike our cyclones in the northern hemisphere spin counterclockwise. So our biggest storm surge is actually going to be on the east side, which is actually going to spare Port Hedland a tiny bit. I don't know, you guys have probably seen the storm surge predictions, but I would expect the biggest storm surge to be over here. You're actually currently right now having water pulled out of Port Hedland. So your water's actually probably low in there right now. And the heaviest storm surge is moving in on your east. And by the way it looks like it's moving in, the heaviest storm surge will continue to be on your east. But this right here is going to be sustained winds of 140 plus at the surface for a period of an hour or two. So this is going to be absolutely insane. Nick Gray, I appreciate the sub. Yeah, Pam, they fixed it's back. It's people can sub again. It's back in the App Store. Yeah, okay. Yeah, prayers for them. That's bad. I'm glad they're at least on the worst part. Pam, I appreciate it. Thank you, Pam. That was actually a funny one. The worst part about this storm, guys, is let me explain to you because I've been through a few hurricanes. The worst hurricane I went through down South Florida was Wilma because the way it went over my house, we didn't get to go through the eye. We were in the eye wall the entire time. It's much better to be, say, here, right here, because then you get an hour break with no wind, and then you're on the other side of the eye wall. Where Port Hedland is, the problem is it might be in the eye wall the entire time, and then you have 3 to 4 hours of devastating winds instead of just 1 to 2 when you go through the eye. So wind wise, this is in a terrible position. Storm surge wise, this heavy storm surge is probably going to be out into the east because these cyclones spin cyclonic, so clockwise in the southern hemisphere. But this is going to be devastating. They did issue evacuation warning, so and this is just desert out here, so hopefully everyone's safe. All right, that's crazy. That is a crazy looking storm. I'm sure that's breaking all sorts of records right now. I'll have to look it up and get back to you guys on that. Let me get back to here. Insanity. All right, let me get back over here. 1 second, guys. Okay. What's going on, Samuel? Shane and Pam, I appreciate you guys. Christina, you guys are awesome. Seriously, thank you guys. Yep, let's get back into snow. So Pam's entered chat. So Pam, we're watching this system for you here. Looks like most of the models want to bring the snow south of Omaha. You guys did just get a okay snow. That's good. We'll see. GFS I think wants this farther north. Let's look what the latest GFS wants. Latest GFS wants just a random burst of snow suddenly through Omaha. The I feel like I get an accent every time I say Omaha. I'm like Omaha. the name gives me an accent. So the GFS likes 7 to 9 inches. I don't know if you're going to see that. Let's look at our NAM 3K. This is probably a little bit far out for it, but let's look at our NAM 12K for Omaha. Yeah. So I'd lean here. Yeah, I mean the Euro still thinks possibility of 3 to 4 inches moving into Monday. Could outperform that though. When do you think severe weather will start in Nebraska? There's no severe weather in your immediate forecast. We're expecting to have a very, very bad, well, very, very dangerous tornado season in spring this year. But the consensus has been it's going to be the worst out towards Dixie Alley, just based on historical, based on years that match this historically. The Enzo cycle we're in and kind of just a breakdown of our atmospheric setup. These types of years with what we see tend to favor Dixie Alley with big spring tornado outbreaks. Not to say I don't expect there to be Enzo neutrals, weak La Ninas. We see major tornadoes spring seasons. So not quite yet. It's going to be a later start, I think, because our winter is extended a little bit longer. But we're going to start seeing some bad outbreaks up here into late February and into early March. Not necessarily tornado outbreaks, but severe weather outbreaks. Can Chicago please get some big snow this year? I know you guys just missed out. They just got 9 inches right to your north, 4 inches to your south, 5 inches to your south. You guys ended up with 2 or 3. You guys are gonna have some more chances. Your winter's not over. Our temperatures are staying very cold. Pam, also, I don't know if you saw what was coming out here, but this area specifically, they think we could have record-breaking temperatures here moving forward through the 19th. This is your 19th of the 22nd time frame. Just to show you guys this again. We'll look at this really quickly with some wind chills. Here's our latest Euro. Moving forward, that's negative 18 in Omaha, negative 20, negative 30, negative 25. Look at that. Negative 30 Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, you saw the video. Yeah. That's cold. That's wind chill. You will be in the negatives actual temperatures. Your actual is going to be 15 degrees below zero. And we could see even colder air moving in after that. The GFS thinks there's going to be... Now, if you want to see something crazy, Pam, look at the icon. Let's see if the icon pulled back at all or if it's still doing this. So, yeah, the icon has you getting down to negative 20 without wind chill. I think it does something even crazier than that, but let me go back here. This is silly. People need to see this. Yeah, it has negative 30 without wind chill. That's over towards western Nebraska. Brittany, I appreciate the sub. Thank you. Shane, thanks. Shout out, Brittany. I appreciate you. Will Tennessee get snow next week? There's a signal for snow to Tennessee next week. Yes, it's out of forecasting range, but potentially we're watching this system, obviously, right here. All the models, every single one of our Americans. Yali, Yali with the Galaxy. Shout out Yali. Thank you, Yali. Thank you, guys. So all of our models, American, European, Canadian icon, have this mega trough. This is cold air. And have this moisture here. I especially, for people who've been watching me for a while, the GFS does good in the subtropics. So I always watch, does the GFS have that low down here? The GFS has that low too. So I'm pretty confident, and that's in 120 hours out. I'm pretty confident the moisture is going to be available here. All of our globals do think this cold air is going to be available. So the odds for southern snow is getting better and better. Totals are a little too far out, but all of our models you can see. I mean, this model has big snow into Charlotte and coastal Carolina. Like, that's the latest GFS. We'll see. I'm not sold on that quite yet, so I'm not going to keep showing that model, but we have the potential. Why was I hearing over a foot of snow for Thursday next week in PA? But yeah, I mean, because some models want to take this southern snow, this southern system that looks like it could bring snow down to the south and then curl it up the coast into kind of a nor'easter style system. I mean, all of them actually pull it up the coast now. All the models do. Some pull it a little bit farther off, and if that's the case, we're not going to see anything from it. So that's what we have to watch. Now, let me actually see if we can break this down a little bit more in upper air dynamics. Let's take a look at this. So let's go to North America. So here's our system here. So this is what's going to dictate whether this thing moves up the coast as a nor'easter. Here's our southern system right here. This is our trough. But look at what's going on here. This is a secondary system right above it. The timing of these, number 1 and number 2, the timing of these two are going to depend. Does this thing flatten and go off the coast, or does it curl up and negatively tilt? Let me go into the 12Z. Let's look at a couple of different ones and see what they see. This is the Euro 12Z. So this is the Euro 12Z, and you can see this is a little bit out of position. So this pushes it a little bit too far off the coast. It comes in a little bit later. Our icon does something really interesting with this, and I believe was it our 12Z icon? Yes. So our icon catches this at the right time. Here's our secondary trough up here, or here's our secondary piece of energy up here. And the way this digs in, it basically just attaches itself to this southern system and pushes all of this energy and all this cold air into it and helps to curl it up the coast. So this helps to negatively tilt the system below it. You can see it right here. Here's our energy from our southern system, and it catches it, and right there we get a negatively tilting system up through the mid-Atlantic and New England. This is what a classic nor'easter would look like. This would be 2 feet of snow in New Jersey. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know yet. I'm leaning no, because that's such a crazy scenario, but it's happened before. But that's the icon. The European isn't as bullish on it. We just went over the European. You saw that. Now watch the European. So it doesn't quite attach to this piece of energy to the south. Here's our northern piece of energy here, and look at our southern piece of energy. It's just there's not much there, and it kind of pushes it off the coast. By the time it really starts to tilt, you can actually see it up here off the coast of Maine. So we would want those interacting a little bit sooner, and then we could get that big nor'easter look. There's not, and this is what we look at in this time frame, guys. A week out. When people ask like how much snow are we going to get from a system a week out, no one knows how much snow. I'm only focused on where do I think the storm's going to go, because we don't know how much snow anyone's going to get if we don't know where it's going to go. You could get 2 feet or you could get 0. You know, you can get nothing. You can get rain. But the one thing all the models show is that one piece of energy up here, another piece of energy down here. When and where they interact is going to determine if we get a major nor'easter up the coast, or at least some snow up the coast. But right now, southern snow is looking somewhat decent just because we have pretty good model agreement. They do all like it kind of sweeping through the south, so. But that's something I can look off, look at a little more off stream. I need a blockbuster nor'easter. So do I. I want one. Please, southern snow. Listen, we've been looking at it. It's a possibility. The GFS is... Oh, the icon, guys. The icon goes... Is it the icon that's going crazy with the southern snow down there? I think it is. Yeah, the icon is going nuts. I mean, look at this icon. The icon... This is the end of the run, so it's not going to show the snow, but I want to just show you guys just... I don't even really want to call this a possibility because it's too far out, but, you know... Do you guys... This is where the run ends. Do you guys understand that this is calling for 3 feet of snow? That the icon is calling for 3 feet of snow through the mid-Atlantic along the coast? I don't think that's going to happen. But we look at these signals and say, well, there's something to it. Most of the models like the chance of getting a little bit of snow down here in the south. I don't think you're going to see it, around the Gulf. But maybe in the northern parts of these states, I don't see this happening. We can look at our national blend really quick. Megan, I appreciate that. Thank you, Megan. I haven't taken a look at our national blend quite yet. This will give us a good kind of idea of what's happening next week. This is our 0-0-Z. Okay, so you can see when it wants to put that snow into the south. And this does want to bring the national blend. You can see does want that snow to come up the coast as well. And potentially you can see the snow line down here bringing it into the south. So we'll watch it. All right, let me get this set up, guys. 1 second. All right, let me just answer as many questions as I can real quick here. We'll do a speed round. The icon's insane, guys. The icon's insane. The icon is insane. Look at the icon snow. I'm not thinking that's a thing. I'm not thinking that's a thing. So here, the 0-0-Z corrected a little bit. There you go. The 0-0-Z still takes that snow up the coast. Still has some snow into some of these southern areas, though. The GFS has it a little bit farther south. All right, let's get back to this, and let me answer some questions. Weather app says Long Island for a foot of snow. Is that possible? It's possible, but you could also end up with 0. There's just as good a chance, Nick. There's just as good a chance you end up with 0 inches. I think there's actually a much better chance you end up with 0 inches. So there's no point in looking at snow totals a week out. Percentage for the nor'easter, I think I said this, I got asked this last stream and I said the same thing. The percentage is high that we see snow back up in the northeast from this system and potentially through the mid-Atlantic. The percentage is low for a nor'easter. Nor'easters are very rare events. A negatively tilting trough right up the coast. Those are pretty rare. Yeah, 00 GFS is going to come out in a second here, but it takes a while to load in. Can we see Euro panels for the 20th storm? Yeah, we can. Let's look at them. Let's look at them. Ensemble. Yeah, a lot of times you guys find this interesting. I find this really interesting as well. We can look at what we're about to look at is the Euro model took the data, the newest data we have, ran it through its model 50 times and got 50 different outcomes. These are all technically possibilities because these are all technically possibilities. So we're going to look at them. Let's do it here. All right. And we need to do, sorry, one second. We need to do, here we go. So let's see. What are the possibilities? Let's get this in an area you can see it. Sorry, let me just get this. We'll go like this. If you guys don't know, the pinks, the white that you see, like the like this right here, okay, that's like 3 feet of snow. The pinks you see is like a foot, and then the purples is like 9 inches, and then the blues is like, you know, inches. So here we go. These are all the outcomes that they think is possible for that southern snowstorm. I'll just tell you in case you can't see them well. This one right here puts a huge snow into Carolina, including Charlotte. Lots of snow into Tennessee, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas. I mean, this is pretty big snow for everyone. It does leave snow out of the mid-Atlantic, though. This one right here would be one of the mega blizzards of the century for the mid-Atlantic in New England. We'll see. This one as well would be a mega blizzard if that were to be the outcome. Wow, all these, okay? All those 3 right there. This one's a pretty tamed winter storm. I'll do check marks on ones that look like crazy, crazy outcomes. This one is pretty tamed. This one's pretty tamed. These are pretty tamed. This would be pretty big snow right here. This would be pretty big snow. This would be a gigantic historical storm. 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 Wow, there's a lot of these. There's a lot more than I thought there'd be. This would be an historical storm. There's a lot more. There's a lot more big outcomes than I thought, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Actually, this is a lot more major outcomes than I thought. Let's quickly go over into our other. Let's look at the rest real quick. I gotta crack my neck. My neck's hurting. Ow. So here's the rest of the panels. This is big snow for everyone down here, for everyone across the east. This would literally be a historical event, historical event, historical event, historical event. The rest of them look pretty tamed. I mean, this would be pretty big. That would be pretty big. This would be pretty big. I mean, there's a lot of outcomes here. Now, if you want to talk about like which ones of these show very far south snow, I mean, or at least southern snow, really quickly, just so you see some of these outcomes. I mean, these are pretty far south. That's pretty far south. That's pretty far south. That's a lot of snow in Charlotte. That's pretty decently south. This is very, very far south. That's another foot into Louisiana, central Louisiana, which I don't think is going to happen. But again, these are this is your best global for mid-range and long-term snow forecasting, and these are all the outcomes that the European thinks are possible. These are all the different outcomes it thinks are possible, and I'm glad whoever brought it up because it just shows you your weather app's telling you you're going to get whatever. A foot in Long Island next week. Well, there's about 50 different outcomes just from the European model, and there's about 500 different outcomes when you combine our global. So your weather app has no idea. And the weather app is taking what we call a deterministic model, which is taking one out of these 400 models that it just thinks is the best, and then it tells you how much precipitation you're going to get. So when your weather app tells you you're going to get 4 or 5 days away, you're going to get 6 inches of snow and you end up getting 1, or you're going to get a foot and you end up getting 2. This is why. Because it's just taking one model that it thinks is the best model. It's not looking at the big picture and the probabilities. All right. That was fun. Back to it. Minnesota, we are way under average. Yeah, Minnesota's gonna the cold air that the extremely kind of, I don't know if you're gonna see record cold air with this system that's moving in, but in some areas potentially. it's going to be tough to get snow here for the next couple of weeks. Big snow in the Minnesota the next couple of weeks. Maybe some. Just because you're going to start developing, like I always bring up, a cold core high where you're so cold, there's going to be no ability to get any lift in the atmosphere, have any convection over your area for a little bit here. This is that kind of happens in Serbia year-round in winter, where they get so cold that snow can't fall. Yeah, I'm gonna be live streaming a little bit. I'm gonna be live streaming a little bit, Samuel, on I'm gonna be live streaming a little bit on Saturday. I have my sister in town who I haven't seen in a long time. So, but I do want to get on a stream and kind of the time frame where I think we could see the worst of the outbreak. We were talking about this earlier. This is, nothing. You shouldn't take this lightly. I will say the instability isn't looking as crazy as it did. I don't think we're going to hit a moderate. Still possible, though. I don't think we're going to hit a moderate. EF2, EF3, EF4, EF5, really. EF2 plus tornadoes are still possible in this yellow and orange area, this slight to enhanced region. We do have a hatched area in here, which means a 10% chance for kind of those mega tornadoes, those EF2 to EF5s in this area. So we do have to watch this area very closely. Northeastern Louisiana, most of Mississippi, and then central western Alabama. So I will be covering this tomorrow when it starts to look bad. Mesomat's going to be covering this as well, probably all day. MESOMATT. Most of you know him. I'm part of his team, so he'll be covering it. He's going to be doing a great job. He does this full time, so he'll be keeping everyone updated here during the day. But this is something you should take seriously. Pam, I appreciate it. Shout out, Pam. Thank you. Jean, Megan, pretty lady, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Guys, if you don't know, subs are back. We are back. TikTok is back on the App Store. If any of your friends were dumb enough to delete the app when it got banned for a day, they can re-download it. So that's cool. But yeah, associated with this too, and you can really see this when we look at our radar, our future radar. This to me looks like the chance of a derecho. This is an extremely wide, powerful looking squall line, meaning we're going to have heavy very strong downdrafts along a lot of this. So you can get these big bursts of winds that last for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes of 60 all the way up to 100 plus miles, 60 to 100 really. Sometimes ratios can have even stronger winds than that, over 100 miles per hour. Sometimes they'll be pushing like 120. It's crazy. But they can push along these squall lines, not along the whole thing, but that's a concern because those can do damage like tornadoes do without even putting a tornado down. So we gotta watch for the serious possibility of a derecho with this as well. Yeah, Yali, I agree. What do you think will happen to the storm mid next week? Do you think the Euro or GFS will be correct? I think we're going to end up getting a little bit of snow into the south. I'm not convinced if we're going to get as far south as I'm pretty confident in getting some snow into Tennessee and Arkansas and Oklahoma and into Appalachia. It's going to be Charlotte, Atlanta, Dallas. Those are going to be tough. I have about a 10 to 20% confidence in that. It's not too high, but it's not. It's possible to see snow in these areas. Snow accumulation. I do think the snow is going to move up the coast. I haven't decided if I think I'm leaning towards it's not going to be a mega nor'easter. Those are just really, you need the perfect situation from that. You need a little bit of luck, and I'm hoping we have it there because I want a nor'easter. There's consensus on not a nor'easter, but there's consensus on a winter storm. All the models have this winter storm moving through the south and then up the coast. They all show that. They disagree with how far off the coast. They disagree with how strong it's going to be while it moves up the coast. So this is where stuff starts to get really So they all agree there's a chance. Every single one of them shows a chance for a nor'easter. Every single global model. We're looking at our European here. We're looking at and our new GFS is loading. Our GFS here, see, storm up the coast again, but this one moves a little bit farther out. Our icon shows, let's go to our icon. Our icon shows nor'easter style moving up the coast there. Anders, I appreciate it. Thank you, Anders. Shout out Megan. Thank you, Anders. And then our Canadian shows it too. They all show this. Storm moving down to the south, snow in the south, moving up the coast as kind of a nor'easter. Now, they're all kind of pulling the storm currently a little bit off the coast. Just away from the mid-Atlantic. Me, living in the mid-Atlantic, living in Philly, I like this. And I want a lot of snow. Why? Because these storms tend to trend as you get closer in time, a little bit farther back to the north and west. So if I were to see this this system currently 170 hours out directly over my head, I'd be nervous that it's going to move to the northwest and we're going to end up in the rain shield. So I like that these models keep this right off the coast, because a lot of times these end up shifting back into the north and west. So not always, but I'd say more often than not. So personally, I like what it's showing. I've looked at these models every day of my life for 15 years, and that's just they tend to do that. Not all the time, but they tend to do that more often than not. New model coming out soon. Yeah, the 0000Z of the GFS is coming out right now. Sam, I like it too, yeah. That's right, Casper. How bad was the wind tonight in Trenton, Philly area? You know, I haven't been outside all night. I got home from work around 7:30. There wasn't much wind when I was driving home at 7:30, and I haven't been outside since. Yeah, Ryan Hall will be streaming that. Ryan Hall is lucky enough to be able to do this full time. Eventually, I'll be able to do that. And once I'm full time on this, you can bet I will not miss a streaming. I will be streaming every severe weather event through its entirety. But unfortunately, right now, I mean, I like actually. I know this is gonna sound silly, but I actually like my 9 to 5. I'm an underwriter, and I actually like what I do. I actually like it. But I like this a lot more, so I want to go full-time with this. But I'll be able to do that. It's frustrating when there's big, severe events and stuff like that. Now, Saturday, I normally would be able to do it. I have family in town. But I hate when there's severe outbreaks, and I'm sitting in a cubicle. And I'm like, I just want to be online telling people what's going on. I'm always sitting at work, watching the radar. The Canadian... I can't imagine the Canadian. The Canadian earlier was even crazier. Good evening from Boston. Am I going to have any snow? Oh, any snow work? Do you plow? Well, we were looking at this earlier. We'll go to our 18Z. We're expecting a little bit of snow up there. I think it's like a 5 to 6 potentially into Boston. You might get the low end, 3 to 5. Let's go up into the northeast real quick. Actually, let's go 24-hour snowfall. Here's what's expected this weekend. Some models are showing this 4 to 6 inches. That's not bad. What's our GFS show here? What's our comparison? Oh, this is the 00Z. Let's see what the comparison is. The GFS likes the same thing, 5 to 6 inches. Actually pretty good. Consensus. NAM 3K. I like the NAM 3K right now. That's not going out far enough, but I can tell that's what it's going to show. What's the NAM 12K showing? Not bad consensus. The NAMs are showing low end, 3 to 4, but I'd say 4 to 6. I would say 4 to 6 is realistic for Boston. Is our HRRR seeing it? Not quite yet. I just want a snowstorm. Me too, Megan. We got 3 inches where I am north of Philly like 2 days ago, and the snow was melted within like literally 12 hours. I went out in the morning and I was like, this is awesome. And then I went to work and came home and it was all gone. I was like, what the heck? And the high that day was like 38 or 39. I was like, how did this much snow melt when it was 30 degrees outside? Or it didn't even get into the 40s. That was the fastest melting snow I've ever seen without the temperature even getting into the 40s. That can sometimes have to do with humidity and light rain too. Lil, what's going on? Yali, I appreciate you. What is it? The big stick. I appreciate you. Eileen, thank you. 1 second, guys. Georgia has the worst winters ever. It always gets it's always super dry and cold, and it's warm for only a while. No snow. Well, Georgia isn't supposed to get a ton of snow. Lightning blew up a power line next to me. You didn't warn me. Danon, that's my bad. I should have. Yeah, you have a chance to get some this month. I mean, right now you just have Clipper systems moving through outdoor adventures. You have some. The latest Euro does put snow in on the back end of this. Actually, what does the 18Z say? The 18Z does put snow in the back end into Ohio. This wasn't, we were talking about this as a possibility in my stream yesterday, and this has actually started to look a little bit better. So this does want to put down 1 to 3 inches through central Ohio and 4 to 6 inches through northern Ohio. Not a ton of snow, but it might put some snow down in your area over the weekend. Probably Sunday. Our snow from Tuesday in northern VA is practically on now. Yeah. Yeah, we had a huge heat up today. 50s. But we're getting cold again. The Weather Channel said Virginia Beach should get around a foot of snow. When? The Weather Channel didn't say that. The Weather Channel isn't dumb enough to tell you you're going to get a foot of snow from a storm that's over 160 hours out. Because they don't know. I use all the same models the Weather Channel uses. Maybe they said it was a possibility, but it's a possibility, but there's just, we're way too far to know for sure in that time frame. Did you see the Canadian Euro and Icon all have nor'easter, especially the 12Z Icon? Yep, the new Icon does not have as strong a nor'easter, but we'll see this continue to change back and forth. This is the new Icon for the nor'easter next week. A little bit farther off the coast. So, plenty of time to see these adjust though. Will North Carolina snow next week? When does the storm track? When will it be finalized? They're never finalized. Our atmosphere is always changing and moving and variable. It's never finalized. But let's look at the probability. Let's look. You know what? Because I hate. I don't like doing what are the chances. Let's go into and look at our probability of snowfall, inch or more of snowfall, and let's just do this, so we can get This will give us a much clearer understanding of what our chances are from our best snow model during this time frame. So let's go into the 12Z. Here we go. Yawning. Here we go, guys. This is looking out. I don't even need to do it this far. Let's look out about 10 days on our European ensemble model. This is our best global for snow, let's be honest. It is. And everywhere in the red, we think has a 100% chance of seeing at least an inch of accumulation or more. These yellows to the oranges, that's basically your 60 to 90% chance of seeing an inch or more of accumulation. We can see this down here. Now, Charlotte's pretty close to that. Charlotte right now, based on the European Ensemble thinks Charlotte has about a 30 to 50% chance of seeing an inch or more of accumulation next week. You can see it gives some chances down into the northern areas of these states as well, including South Carolina. Now, some of these models will look a little bit different. Why isn't the icon on here? Oh, let's go into the 10-kilometer Canadian. Oh, that's not going to show us. So we can look at the GFS probabilities as well. Sorry, GFS ensemble, Canadian ensemble, probability of winter. Here's what our Canadian thinks. Our Canadian gives, our Canadian gives the chances for snow. It pushes it much farther south. Rich, I appreciate you. Kayla May, shout out for the sub. Kayla, I appreciate you. Fav. Kayla, thank you. And then we can look at our GFS ensemble for probability of snowfall. That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. We have close to record-breaking cold air moving in, but our GFS gives you a 10 to 20% chance for snow as far south as here, and our GFS gives gives Charlotte over almost like a 40 to 60% chance for snow in here. Really a 40 to 50% chance. So that's kind of the look at it. That's kind of the look of it. If you're in these orange and yellow areas, you have a pretty good chance of seeing snow here moving forward, and especially if you're in the red. This is just an inch, though. If we were to look at 3 inches or more, I mean, that's pretty far south. 6 inches or more, I mean, the GFS thinks that this area, including portions of Georgia and the Carolinas, still has a chance to see 6 inches or more. This is based on all the model runs that the American has done with the latest data. In my opinion, will Tennessee get snow next week? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't know how much, though. In my opinion, I think there's a better chance you guys get snow than not. Yeah. I just scrolled by in Virginia Beach. What the heck was that? That was the percentage chance of you seeing snowfall. Which is pretty high. Was that 6 inches or more? Oh, yeah, I don't know when you came into the stream. We're looking at a bunch of different maps and models. How is the snow for New Jersey next week? Possibly nor'easter. Yes, we're looking again. Every single model and its grandma has. Oh yeah, the 18Z of the Euro still has snow down there. Every single model shows something like this. Snow moving into portions of the south, and then a nor'easter type event possibly. We don't know the exact pathing of the storm, so I can't answer how much snow is going to fall. This could flatten out. We could end up with a more zonal flow at the end. This could curl more. We could even see this potentially come back in here. So this is the big question mark. Big question mark here. So if you're asking how much snow am I going to get from this, well, we need to figure out the track of it first. It's going to come through here. We're pretty confident on this track. It's going to swoop down. Now, the split out here is the confusing part, because this is when it's going to interact with another piece of energy to its north, like I was talking about. 48 hours, we'll have a pretty good idea. Another 48 hours, we'll be pushing close to 120. I like to be within 120 hours out. I like to be within 120 hours out to get a good track. So Saturday. We'll talk about this Saturday on stream with a lot more confidence. But it has the potential to be a huge snowstorm for the south and up the coast. So any significant snow for Chicago here? Well, here's our latest. Here's our latest from the Euro for Chicago. So the Euro thinks 2 to 3 is possible. And then a lot of these storms are going to move to the south. The problem is, again, with Chicago, too, you guys are going to get so cold here, it's going to be hard to get snow into your area moving forward. For anyone who just joined, this is the temperature forecast from February 19th through the 23rd. We could see record-breaking temperatures through here. When you get this below average, and especially that far north, this can suffocate out some of the convection and make it hard. And it makes these snowstorms want to dive down further where there is some warm, cold air interaction. You need a baroclinic boundary, which means, to create lift. So if we were to look at our map here, where do all these snowstorms form? Along our baroclinic boundary. You see the blue isobars here? And the red isobars, baroclinic boundary, right there. Cold air, warm air. That's where they meet, and that gives you lift. That allows for lift and convection. And for this moisture to go up and condense, and that forms convection. Now, there's no sort of boundary up here, is there? It's all cold, all cold. You got a high pressure up here. You need some moist and dry air interaction that can cause it too, or warm and cold air interaction to develop some sort of snow. And this time frame moving forward, it looks like it's going to get real cold up here for a while, so we might see a little break in snow, and we're going to see a little bit more down here where the warm air is. But that being said, there's going to be more chances for snow for everyone this winter. The stratospheric polar vortex broke down. It's broken down. This isn't even fun. This cold air, I don't even think is from that. There's a big lagging event with that, and again, that's why the groundhog, it was right this year, most likely. We are expected to see our winter stretched through March, and I think we're going to see some very interesting snowstorms in March as well, and potentially even moving forward here in late February for all these areas. It's going to be active. This is anything but an inactive year. Or it's going to be anything but an inactive end of summer or end of winter. It can shift south, though. Am I right? The system for North Carolina? It could. But the temperatures, it's already crazy. The look with how cold it's getting down there is already crazy. It could get crazier, yeah. It could. These models usually shift back north into the west, like I said, but it's possible. You're leaning towards the coast major storm. I'm leaning towards there being a coastal storm. I don't know if it's going to be major yet, Kyle. There's some models that pull it offshore next week. I don't think it's going to go straight offshore. So there's models like this that just pull it. Not this one particularly. There's some runs. Let's go. Which one was it? Was it the last Canadian? No, the Canadian actually brought it up the coast, I think. I mean, the Canadian brings it pretty far off the coast, and that wouldn't be a big snow day. We'd want it to be a little closer inland. So I think we're going to see these start to bring it a little bit. The models start to bring it a little bit more inland. Instead of having the bulk of the heaviest snow, just falling off in the ocean. Even with our Euro, if we look at our latest Euro, the heaviest snow right here is off the coast. I think we may see a shift back inland with this snow moving forward in time. I tell people about you at work trying to get you more followers. Shout out, Ree. Let's go. Yali, I appreciate you. Thank you to anyone who's subbed. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I lost almost all my subs. I had like close to 400, and then I got down to 48. But, I appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Kimber and Suzette popped off earlier. Kimber and Suzette gifted 10 subs. Winter, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing sub. I'm gonna start doing sub only streams again. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do one tonight before I get off for about 15, 20 minutes. But it started to feel like a lot of work for nothing when all the subs were dropping and no one could resub. I think that the areas that will get the super cold, the dry air pulls so much moisture from the snow. The stuff on the ground basically evaporates, just poofs. Kinda. What's snow and ice accumulation look like this weekend for Ohio? Yeah, we can actually look at both of those. There's an interesting way we can look at both of those. So let's go into Ohio. Shout out Winter. I appreciate you. Christian, thank you. Nadine, I appreciate you. Megan. Winter and Christian, I appreciate the subs, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go into Ohio here. And we can actually look at it. This is, I actually like using this. Let's go into the European deterministic. And let's look at our panels. I should be able to. Come on, let me do it. Fav, I appreciate you. Let me do it. Come on, let me do it. I should be able to look at surface precipitation. No, I know where I need to go. I know where I need to go. I need to go into precipitation, and then I need to go into precipitation type. Why is this not showing it for me? Ah, 1 second, guys. 1 second, guys. I want to show you this. So, Euro surface precipitation. Now I should have... Oh, here we go. Precipitation by type. That's what I was looking for. So, here's Ohio. And here's through the weekend. This doesn't look like anything crazy with ice. This is annoying ice, not like catastrophic, everyone's power's out ice. Could knock some power out, but not insanely terrible looking ice. A little bit of sleet. Snowfall doesn't look bad. Again, Central could see 2 to 4 inches. Could see a dusting down here in the south. And we could get 4 to 6 up here in the north. But yeah, the ice doesn't look too bad. The ice doesn't look too bad. If we actually just went in and looked at ice here. Freezing rain. Yeah, these... That's not scary totals. Not at all. 1 second, guys. Here, we can take a look at our ice. A lot of people have ice questions. Let's go to our Fram here from the Euro. Yeah, wow. I didn't even realize how bad this ice could be actually up in the northeast. Let me zoom in on that. Oh, that could be bad in the south, but that's far out. I did not realize how bad this ice could be up in the northeast. Let's get into that. So let's get our 18Z. We should be able to see that. Not the best look. I say this all the time though. Models ice is one of the hardest things to forecast because it all depends what the temperature difference is with verticality, and that's really hard for these models to see. So even within 12 hours, the ice forecast can be wrong. But where the ice falls is usually pretty accurate. How much is hard to tell. Coastal Maine, southern Vermont and New Hampshire. A lot of areas of upstate New York, central to southern upstate New York. Most of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, except for the coastal regions, which is interesting. Very interesting. I think the coastal regions will be involved there. And then the Allegheny Plateau down here through PA. Obviously, the worst looks like it's going to be just north of what do we got? What do we got over here? Albany. Yeah. Looks like just to the north of the Hudson Valley, Albany, Western Massachusetts and northeastern Maine. Those obviously look like some pretty bad pockets. Just to the east of Pittsburgh, though, here. That's an issue. You guys have gotten a lot of ice this year. What city is that? Is that like Greensburg? What city is that number representing? I need to know. 1 second here. Ebensburg, I think. You guys have already gotten a lot of ice this year. All right, let me zoom out. Oh, I'm so excited to get some good sleep tonight. I can work from home tomorrow. Oh my gosh, guys, I need to sleep. I want to have so much. I promise you, I will have so much energy tomorrow on my stream. I'll probably be streaming a little bit earlier tomorrow. I'm trying to think. When does my sister get? Oh yeah, my sister gets into town Saturday. Yeah. What is the snow amount for Binghamton, New York? Let's move over there real quick. New York. If I'm not mistaken, you guys are in here, right? Binghamton. Yeah. 5 to 6 right now in the latest Euro. Not bad. Do we have any discrepancies? The GFS thinks you're going to have a little... No, the GFS actually agrees pretty well. NAM 3K, which has done really well this year. Has you on the lower end, so I'd be careful. Has you 3 to 4. Or has done really well with the last two storms. T-Dub, I appreciate it. New GFS shows something interesting. Let me look at it real quick. Oh, I didn't realize it was this loaded. Wow, the new GFS has this storm really cranking here. Really, wow, this is a derecho looking. This is a derecho looking squall line, guys. This could have very strong downdrafts, very strong winds along that entire squall line. Seriously, Saturday. Yeah, that's some major ice up in the Northeast. Sorry, I'm just looking at this. The new GFS wants to put a little bit more snow even into Chicago. Oh wow. Oh wow, the new GFS is digging down this trough even farther. Interesting. Breaking. Look how deep that low pressure is. That low pressure is down over the Gulf now. Or how far south it is. This is digging. I'm really interested. This looks like it may pull up. I'm really interested to see what happens here with this GFS. All right, this is news. This is news here. How's Ohio look with this new GFS look? Pretty heavy snow as well. This looks like even colder air now with this update. Let's look at the wind chills. I mean, the departure from temperature, so our temperature anomalies. Oh, yeah. Look at that, guys. 30 degrees below average temperatures through this entire region, including into Texas. Let's not even look at wind chill. Let's look at actual temperature. Yeah, getting down. I mean, just at the beginning of this run, down to the low 20s in Dallas. Negatives for this whole region. Yeah, I think the GFS is getting colder. Politics, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah, this looks very cold for Texas. Any updates on that day 3 severe weather event in the south? Still looking pretty bad. I will tell you. Well, I'll be right back, and then I'll tell you. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds, guys. All right, 1 second. Let's see if we can get Matt in here. Let's see if we can get Mezzo Matt to make a guest appearance about the severe weather. He's probably on stream right now. Does anyone know if he's on stream? Oh, he was in here and I missed him?
Hello.
You were in my I'm still on stream, so don't say anything dumb. You were in
No, you're good.
You were in my stream earlier. I missed you.
No, you're good. So, I don't know if you saw the OZ her model run. Big uptrend. We've got 2 prefrontals. I mean, everybody's flipping out as far as the uptrend goes. We're getting a big uptrend on her and the NAM, basically.
Okay, so the OOZ.
Basically what we talked about earlier. Yeah, you can start to see those parameters going up. Reed even posted it and was talking about significant confluence bands developing ahead of the line tomorrow. If 1 or 2 discrete cells just pop up out of this, if we just get 1, we could get a EF3 plus easily out of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're looking at a 67 to 75 low-level jet over Mississippi and Alabama as the squall line is moving through. I think we do get a moderate upgrade for wind tonight. Potentially, they might wait for it, but it's uptrending as we thought.
Okay. Yeah, I was bringing you in because we needed our nightly Mesomat thoughts of the day.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, I don't like what I'm seeing. We'll see.
Let me push down here into the southeast.
I'm going to stay up until 2 a.m. to see what these dew points do, what the instability and stuff does.
Okay.
Once again, instability is not that impressive, but with the low-level jet coming in at 70 plus knots overnight, it's going to make up for that void and instability.
Is that what you see now with the low-level jet?
Yeah, it's blanket. If you look at if you just take a sounding on the new GFS that's coming in now, or you can look at the OZ her runner
yeah,
and M3K, you've got this.
We'll do that right now.
Photograph that's 70 knots. It's booking it.
Okay. Yeah,
we're going to be rolling out a quasi-linear EF2 plus inside that line that develops.
All right. Well, Saturday should be fun. Yeah, guys, I'll be streaming for a little bit on Saturday, but you'll be streaming what? Pretty much the whole event, Matt. What do you think?
We'll be on early morning Saturday if this does go moderate. Yeah.
Okay. That's your guy. All right. I appreciate it, Matt.
Sounds good, bud.
Peace. If you don't follow Mezzo Matt, guys, he covers this really good. Let me look at this lower level jet that he was talking about real quick. Let's take a look at this. Let's go into, are we seeing, there it is. Yeah, it looks a little bit more impressive than it did earlier. We were seeing an upper level jet that was very, very strong earlier in the day, but not quite a low level jet. And this is a little bit more dangerous of a look. I think we already have a hatch for tomorrow, meaning, like I said, 10% chance or more of EF2 plus. The squall line's looking pretty bad. We can go down and look at, really quickly, severe weather. Let's go into our, do I want upper aerodynamic? No, I want severe weather. Let's get back into the HRRR. Let me show you guys a couple things. This is the most concerning thing to me when I'm looking at this. Squall lines can produce pretty bad tornadoes, but the worst tornadoes come when you start to see a popcorn look, which is, you can see out ahead of the squall line. This is what he was talking about. We have some separate banding happening right here and right here. That's the most concerning. This is what can put down your long track EF2 plus tornadoes. Very damaging, very strong. I mean, EF3, EF4, I don't want to even put EF5 out there in the ether, but that's a concern. This was starting to look messy a little bit earlier in the day with some of our runs, kind of clogged up, and the instability wasn't really there. But seeing some of these bandings, and this has to do with the mid and lower level jet strengthening. Seeing some of these bands forming again in the latest 00ZH RRR, just by looking at the future radar, that's a concern. So there's going to be no change. No change on really the forecast for Saturday. It looks bad. So everyone down here in this region just needs to have a way to get weather alerts. As simple as that. If you're down here Saturday into Sunday, you just need to be able to get weather alerts, because there's going to be a lot of tornado watches for sure. There's probably going to be tornado warnings, probably actually a decent amount. So meaning, there's a tornado on the ground. Okay, sorry. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about severe weather a little bit. Yeah, so GFS is still loading. Let's look at what's going on with our snowfall there. It's loading through. Here we go. Oh, GFS has a huge nor'easter now. Do you guys remember what I told you 10 minutes ago? How I said a lot of times what happens with these systems is you see a north and westerly trend. Can anyone tell me what this model just did from this 18Z to the 00Z? Remember when I went on a rant and said that I've looked at these models over and over again every day for the last 15 years, and you more often than not see a northwesterly trend? Here's the 18Z. Look at where the storm is off the coast of the mid-Atlantic. Here's the 00Z. Ready? It's in the mid-Atlantic now. Let's just look real quick. It shifted. We were right again, chat. We did it, chat. We did it together. We did it. We're all in this together. Yeah. We said it. I said I expect this to shift to the northwest. There's the old run. There's the new run. There's the old run. There's the new one. There's the old one. There's the new one. I really deserve a beer, I think. I just think so. It's getting kind of late. I shouldn't do that to myself. Taylor said, yeah, you know what? Let's crack open one. I deserve a beer for that call. Pam said it's okay. I feel like Pam's my mom sometimes. Pam said it's okay, guys. There we go. Let me pour it into a cup. Is South Arkansas getting anything? And drink a beer. Amanda, it might. You guys might be getting some snow. We'll see. It's close. The GFS gets colder, even colder air down here next week. Right now, the GFS thinks South Arkansas is going to either be cold air or cold rain or mixing. But there's some potential with these models that maybe we get the snow as far south as southern Arkansas. Need a little bit more time there. But, yep, there's your huge nor'easter. This is big. Remember we were looking at the panels earlier, guys, and I said this is like one of the possibilities. Well, one of the panels, this deterministic model is going with that. What does this look like snow-wise? 1.5 feet in the Philly. I don't even want to say this, guys. 2.5 feet in New York City. Too far out. Don't get too excited. There's going to be some adjustments. 2 feet into Long Island. 3 feet into Boston. Guys, this is one run. Okay, we need more time. But yes, the model did shift back in and does see your classic nor'easter. At least on the GFS. We'll see what the Euro says tonight. And we'll see if we have some agreement on that. But the latest GFS, 140 hours out, thinks it's a big nor'easter. The orange is 2 feet plus. My snowblower's ready. If this were to play out like this, some areas would need a very big snowblower. Where you see the hot pink here, guys, this is snowfall rates of like 2 inches an hour. Or more sometimes. 3 inches an hour. That hot pink is very, very heavy snowfall rates. Yum. So that's interesting. This shifting in also, provides a little bit more snow into Kentucky, Ohio. Here, let's look at it like this. Let's look at it from our Kuchera 24-hour snowfall. Here we go. So let's get over to it. You see, I mean, this This type of look would want to bring big snow into Tennessee. Northern Arkansas, but we could see some more into southern Arkansas. We'll have to wait and see how this progresses. This would be decent snow for Nebraska. Potentially, 4 to 6 inches into Omaha again. Maybe more. We'll see. Kansas City would get a good snow if this were to happen. So would St. Louis. With this type of run. Louisville, Owensboro. I'm trying to think of all the big cities this is going through. And then most of Ohio would get snow. It would be a light snow. And then obviously the Mid-Atlantic would get crushed, and so would New England. Pittsburgh could see okay snow with this as well. But these are just insane totals. This would be an insane system. I mean, this would be almost 3 feet of snow in New York City in 18 hours, in an 18-hour time span. Do I think that's going to happen? We need some model consensus before I celebrate this, because that's a pretty crazy scenario. It's a pretty crazy scenario. Yeah, this would be, someone asked Boston or Baltimore. This would be a almost like a foot for Baltimore if that were to happen. Time. We need time. There's going to be it's so funny, you can see the low pressure spinning. Guys, low pressure spin cyclonic anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, and you can see the spin of it. See it spinning around itself there? Right there? That's funny. That's a crazy looking model. I'm interested to see what else the GFS is doing after this, now that I'm seeing that craziness. Man. This is what we call a bombing out low, guys. You have a low pressure down here that's sitting at 1,010. You move forward 24 hours, 983, 962. This is just that's a low that's bombing out. Now, I showed you this earlier. I'm interested to see what the upper air dynamics look like with this 500 millibar height vorticity, so halfway over our heads. What is triggering this? This piece of energy up here is catching it at the right time now. It's catching it at the right time and pulling it up and tilting. See that? That's what we like to see. Big man in politics, I appreciate you guys. Thank you to anyone who's followed and sub as well. I almost didn't stream tonight. Every time I tell my wife I'm like, I'm too tired to stream, I think I'm gonna take the night off. She's always like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, yeah, now you're right. I'll probably stream. Good old fashioned winter storms, yeah. I'll be very happy to treat the weather coming through Atlanta on Saturday, or 2 feet of snow. I feel proud. I put it in the chat before he went into the model. Nice job, Kev. San Diego. Yeah, we've got some. Do we have any severe weather still? We've got some flash flood warnings out there. Still. Let me take you guys over there really quickly, super quickly, and then we'll come back. We do have a super category 5 super typhoon making landfall in Australia right now, which I can show you as well. But you're like, he said what? All right. Here's what's going on down here. Massive amounts. Wow, this is a terrible radar. Do they have another radar out here that works? What is this? San Diego's not bad. We're just going to go to MMRS. These radars out in California are terrible because they never get any rain. So they just have horrible radars. So this rain's moving off to the east, just through San Bernardino, off to the east of Riverside. So you can see our flash flood warnings moving out to the east. Man, there's probably some mudslides, some bad flash flooding happening out there in LA tonight. I have to look at. I haven't looked at the news, but it was probably pretty bad. Adis, I appreciate you. Adis, thank you. It's crazy. The entire state of California is under a general thunderstorm watch right now. Don't see that very often. All right, yeah. Let me get back into me back in answering your guys' questions. I'm gonna get off in a second here, and I'm gonna do a stream, sub only stream for a little bit. But yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. With some updates. Snow for Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at our latest. Here's our latest GFS. Okay, we'll take a look at where our latest GFS likes some of this snow. Let's go into our Cuchera snowfall. This is where our. Let's move forward about 9 days here. This is where the GFS likes snow. Just to. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Let me move. Let me switch this back for you. There you go. Over on TikTok. That's snow for a lot of people. Snow doesn't move in a blanket like this, obviously. So even has areas like Chicago having a chance to see 6, 7, 8 inches of snow again here. Yeah, the GFS likes a decent amount of snow through there. So this is a lot of snow for a lot of people. So it's a pretty good look. I do think we're still gonna. We may see this snow line shift a little bit farther south just based on how cold that air is. But we need to wait a little bit longer and see. GFS equals good for snow, yeah. There's a different saying for the GFS in the meteorological world. What do they call it? They call it the like garbage forecasting system because it's actually not as bad as it used to be. GFS got some good upgrades a few years ago, but Euro's still king. Or queen. Show us your Connor goes international segment and go to the land of the kangaroos. Yeah, here's the latest update on our super typhoon over in Australia right now. Oh, is it making landfall as we speak? Oh, it's making landfall as we speak. It is making landfall as we speak. Let's look at this really quickly, guys. We've got some history being made. I'm sure this is breaking all sorts of records over here. Let's go to our tropical HWARF. Let's go to Zelia. That is a big, strong hurricane. Okay, can we get this? I don't think it's going to allow us, though, on here to see this, to see the satellite imagery of this, which is really annoying. We can see it on Tropical Tidbits, so I'll actually just go back to that. We don't get as good of information, guys, on storms that aren't in the Atlantic and Gulf and Caribbean because we have Hurricane Hunter planes that fly in and drop barometric pressure readers, and we get all this great information. They don't really, they're not doing that out here. So it's, sorry, I know I have to switch the screen back for you. Pam, I appreciate that gift. Gifted sub for Kyle. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, so let me get back in here. Let's... So, I mean, I'm really going to have to use Tropical Tidbits. We don't even have an accurate reading on the barometric pressure, but this is slamming right now into... what was the name of this city in Australia? Port Hedland. We had someone in our chat earlier who's in Port Hedland, or who was. I think they evacuated. I hope they evacuated. I guess they said it's a town of like 10 to 15,000 people. Shout out, Bam. And but I think they had a mandatory evacuation or evacuation warning. And I hope they evacuate it because this is obviously, it's literally, they call it a super typhoon. It's got sustained winds right now up around 170 to 180 miles per hour. I mean, this is the type of storm that's like, if we had a Cat 6, it'd be approaching Cat 6 status. Its eyes collapsing a little bit as it's moving into the coast. It's interacting with a lot of dry air and friction, land friction, dry air down here. So that's why it's starting to collapse. Not too much wind shear on it yet, though, by the look of it. It's getting a little, yeah, it is getting a little wind shear from out here. It's getting a little bit of wind shear out here from the east. You can see it. I wish I could zoom out on this, but this is our shear out here from the east. Pam, I appreciate the gifted subs. Thank you, Pam. And let me see if I can get it on windy. Let's go to 2D. Let's go to satellite. Maybe I'll be able to get it on windy. Here it is. Can we get this? Can we get a better satellite look at this? Here's the current look. This is a little bit farther. I mean, by the look at this, this is a little bit farther off to the east of Port Hedland, but this is a deceiving look because I don't think this radar is set up correctly. Notice this is moving clockwise, guys. Like I said earlier, cyclones in the southern hemisphere move clockwise, not counterclockwise. So a big issue with this is definitely going to be storm surge. Strongest storm surge is going to be off to the east of the eye. So strongest storm surge is going to be through here, which is good for Port Hedland. Right now, a bunch of water is being pulled off the shore of Port Hedland, but they are dealing with very strong winds. But that is your super typhoon right there, making landfall in Australia. We've got a big low pressure system up here, moving up into the Arctic, up into the northern Pacific. And here is the U.S. That's where we live. I know some valuable information. All right, let's get this back. All right. Is Texas cooked for no snow the rest of the month? Northern Texas could see some. You get real close with this latest GFS run to seeing snow. These models are still agreeing on this huge ridge returning to the west, guys, as we get into the third week of February. This is going to be hot and dry. Very hot and dry. We're going to stay pretty cold out here on the east. But we're going to have, once we push out into this time frame, maybe 24th, 25th, it's going to be tough to see any precipitation out here for a while because we're not going to have those baroclinic zones. We're not going to have the warm and cold air clashing. We're not going to have any kind of lift or convection in the area. So, you know, this is the CPC when we're looking farther out, putting the entire country into a desert. Don't expect that to last. End of February. It'll last a little bit, but March is expected to be active as well. But yeah, temperature forecast here through the 23rd, and then look at this temperature forecast through the 27th. It's going to start heating up there in Omaha at the end of the month. This is actually going to be really nice weather. This is going to be really nice weather for Omaha if you want like a if you want a nice break from winter. You're probably going to have a lot of clear skies and highs in the 60s with this type of weather. Going into transition between the 3rd and 4th week of February. Yeah, right. It would be a nice change of pace, Pam. Bring that shit every day, Kyle said. Yeah. Yeah, this should be nice. Every February, there's a week like that in Omaha. Should be really nice. Can we see the polar vortex split? Let's go look at it. What's going on? What's going on with our polar vortex? Let's go northern hemisphere. Stratosphere. Here's our vortex right now. Here's our polar vortex. Here's our anomaly. That's the current state of our vortex right now. What does that look like to you guys? Does that look like a split to you? Pam, I appreciate the gift. Carlos, thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the subs, guys. Pam, you're the real MVP. I appreciate you. Dead center split. I know, right? So these are the two vortices. What are they doing moving forward? Combining and beginning to shift south. This is why I'm telling you, although we see a big warm-up coming at the end of February, I don't expect that to last into March very long. There's going to be an event. This is going to help assist with, and it's going to take a little bit of time, but a big cool down again, and potentially an extremely active, and not potentially, an extremely active March as well, weather-wise. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, that was it. It was tough to see that all go away. I was like, damn, I worked so hard for that, and then one day of a TikTok ban took everything away. It sucks. But still got a lot of the day oneers. Still love my chat. We're doing good. About to be monetized over on YouTube. I think I'll be monetized on YouTube tomorrow. So that's cool. TikTok is back in the App Store. Yep, back in the App Store. Subs are back, and I think you can exchange for coins. It's back to like kind of the normal. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That came out of nowhere. Matt called me and was like, dude, it's back. And I was like, what's back? Jules, I appreciate you. Fab, Brent. You think if we used a lot of magnetic science stuff that we could push that polar vortex north? Maybe in a few hundred years. I deleted my app right away after it got banned. Janet! Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back to anyone who had deleted. Is there anyone in this chat? Is there anyone else in this chat who had deleted their TikTok? Is there anyone else in this chat? But what we're looking at is the stratospheric polar vortex that is split in half, and that's going to recombine and move down towards the States. It's just an extended winter. Is there anyone else in chat who deleted their TikTok and is now just back? I need to know. Me? Oh my god. No way. I would have considered, like, especially because I'm a content creator, I would have considered buying one of those, like, 10. No, I don't have the money. People were selling iPhones with TikTok on them for like $10,000. Well, the thing is, a lot of people, listen, I think some people just like to have like a clean phone, and they're like, well, if I can't use this app, why have it on it? If it comes back, I'll re-download it. A lot of people didn't expect it to be down for a day and then immediately back. Yo, how disc gonna be in Ohio? Welcome back, Riker. Will DC get snow? Here's the latest GFS. Let's go to the end of this GFS run. We'll be able to actually see. Well, no. Okay. End of this GFS run. Things are starting to look zonal, flowish, ridgy, kind of boring at the end of this run, which I think will happen for a week or two, and then I think we're back to pumping winter storms and cold air in March, just based on our stratospheric polar vortex. But for people asking about snowfall, this is the latest from the latest update with our 00Z of the GFS, where it thinks we're going to see snowfall over the next couple weeks here. It's expecting, I mean, this new run does see a massive, gigantic, historic type nor'easter for the mid-Atlantic and New England coastal, potentially inland as well. But we need a little bit more time. We need model consensus on that. This isn't guaranteed to happen. This could still skirt off the coast or go too far inland. So we need a little bit more time to assess that. But it's also bringing some snow into the south. So, but yeah, that would be big snow for DC if that happened. 8 years ago, they said they weren't going to get any snow. So they weren't going to get any snow accumulation in Atlanta. We ended up with 15 inches, hoping for a repeat. What year was that? I know 2011 there was a big snow year down there. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Was it 09 or 11? I'm guessing it was 11. Oh no, you said 8 years ago. 8 years ago. 2017, 2018? Well, 2018 was when we had the stratospheric polar vortex, just like we had with this. I guess that would have been a little bit earlier, 2016. I need to know what year that was. I guess I could have just done the math. Pam, you the best. POV, I appreciate it. What's going on? What day from now can tell us a promising answer for that big 48 hours? Saturday, we're going to be within 96 hours of that storm. So, or 96 to 120 hours of that storm, which is loose forecasting range. And we'll see if our Euro and GFS have some sort of consensus there. They kind of do right now, actually. I mean, they kind of do right now. I need to see. The 12Z Euro and the 12Z Euro looks kind of similar, but just not as powerful. Similar tracking, not as strong as the 18Z GFS. So they might be looking similar as we move forward in time. Feds, I appreciate you. CMC. Well, let me look at this as well. Wow. Look at our experimental model. Seeing it as well. I get worried when it's perfect like that, though, because these things wobble back and forth. Canadian. You see, I think this is... Oh, here's the 0Z. Wow. They all see it. Huh. Yeah. But it's still at a range where we're gonna see things change. I almost don't like how perfectly this puts this major nor'easter. I almost don't like it because there's just too much time for things to change. I would like it if we were within 96 hours and I saw this, but we're not. We're within 150. Yeah. So I'm getting you're getting my hopes up. No, you just gotta listen to me carefully. I'm saying there's plenty of time for this to change. So, it's a very strong signal for a nor'easter, but a little wobble. If that northern piece of energy moves too fast or moves too slow, the nor'easter instead of seeing seeing a move up like here, it'll be here or it'll be in here, which is then a bunch of rain. So we'll wait. Let's see what the Euro comes out with tonight. It's looking promising, I'd say. Don't ruin my blizzard. And I'll be so mad. This could still be a southeast blizzard. I mean, a southeast... I don't know about blizzard, but we still see some models wanting to... Like the 18Z of the Euro. Wanted to bring that snow into the southeast. I gotta do sub only live for a little bit here. One second. Pam, I appreciate that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna obviously post an update on all this tomorrow. And I'm going to be back live tomorrow. What are we seeing now? Well, simply put, I mean, there's a lot of snow opportunities for a lot of people out here. For people who want snow, there's a lot of snow opportunities. Obviously, this is the latest 00Z where it puts snow down. Here. It puts it down everywhere pretty much. It pulled up a little bit from the south, but some models still have it down here. So this is kind of a question mark area. The Euro actually has it farther south than the GFS now. But a lot of snow for a lot of people. Saturday, severe weather event. Something to take seriously. Obviously, this entire region, especially Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, southeastern Arkansas, that's where our biggest tornado threat is. So just have a way to get weather warnings and watches on Saturday if you're down here, Saturday and Sunday, because we don't need anything bad happening. But very serious threat. Seriously, this is the latest from our Storm Prediction Center. That's not good. This could go moderate. Not moderate right now, but it could go. We could see long track tornadoes as well. So I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm gonna log off here, and I'm gonna get back on. I'm gonna do a quick like 15-minute sub only stream, and then I think I'll probably do a sub only stream before I actually get on to my normal stream tomorrow for about 20 minutes. So I'll post on my TikTok and or yeah, I think TikTok. Can I do it on YouTube? I need like a story on YouTube, but I should be on the same time tomorrow. If not, I'll update you guys on my Instagram and TikTok. So I appreciate all of you. Everyone, have a good night. Have a good weekend. I hope to see you in you know, one of my lives this weekend. But or if you have any questions, leave them in the comments of the videos. I have to figure out what I'm going to post tomorrow. I do want to talk about a little bit of climatology, but there's so much going on with the severe weather. So much going on with the severe weather on Saturday, and kind of the Midwestern New England snowstorm. And now we might have a mega nor'easter next week. This is a lot. This is too much to cover. All right, guys. Everyone have a good night. Like I said, I'm going to log out here for a little bit, for about 2 minutes and then get back on in a sub on a stream. So I'll be right back.